So, Trump has addressed the nation. Let's check this out. See what he's talking about. I hope he's talking about getting rid of income tax and getting the economy better and things shaking out and evening out. Because he said there would be a correction period going on with tariffs and everything. So, let's see exactly what's going on. And there's rumors of WW3, which I hope does not happen. But I saw something the other night, and I was just like, jeez. Everybody ramping up?
Good evening, America. 11 months ago, I inherited a mess, and I'm fixing it. When I took office, inflation was the worst in 48 years, and some would say in the history of our country, which caused prices to be higher than ever before, making life unaffordable for millions and millions of Americans.
And it's becoming more and more unaffordable right now.
This happened during a Democrat administration, and it's when we first began hearing the word affordability. Our border was open, and because of this, our country was being invaded by an army of 25 million people, many who came from prisons and jails, mental institutions, and insane asylums. They were drug dealers, gang members, and even 11,888 murderers, more than 50% of whom killed more than one person.
That is wild. By the way, we need to get it under control over here too, because now I keep every other day I'm seeing on Twitter some criminal who had been, convicted 30 times is still on the street and hurt somebody or worse. Like, what the hell are we doing over here? You know what I'm saying? Like, and if they truly did get rid of asylums over here, they need them back, because some of these people need the mental care that they need. You know what I'm saying?
What the Biden administration allowed to happen to our country, and it can never be allowed to happen again. We had men playing in women's sports, transgender for everybody, crime at record levels with law enforcement, and words such as that just absolutely forbidden. We had the worst trade deals ever made, and our country was laughed at from all over the world. But they're not laughing anymore.
Uh-oh.
Over the past 11 months, we have brought more positive change to Washington than any administration in American history. There's never been anything like it, and I think most would agree. I was elected in a landslide, winning the popular vote and all 7 swing states and everything else with a...
I like how he always talks about that. You know what it reminds me of? Reminds me of wrestling promos. It reminds me of wrestling promos, how he always brings it up. I mean, the more you reiterate something, the more you keep telling people something happened, they remember it. You know what I'm saying? It reminds me of wrestling promos. You guys that watch wrestling know exactly what I mean. You know what I'm saying? They'll bring up the same thing. You can't forget that I'm the one that pinned John Cena. You know, like they'll say it in every promo.
Mandate to take on a sick and corrupt system that really just took the wealth from people and crushed the dreams of the American people. For the last 4 years, the United States was ruled by politicians who fought only for insiders, illegal aliens, career criminals, corporate lobbyists, prisoners, terrorists, and above all, foreign nations, which took advantage of us.
That's a whole lot of stuff right there.
Never seen before. They flooded your cities and towns with illegal aliens. They decimated your hard-earned savings. They indoctrinated your children with hate for America. They just released a level of violent felons that we had never seen to prey on innocent. They caused war. They caused mayhem. They caused a horrible situation
you say mayhem?
over the globe. But now You have a president who fights for the law-abiding, hardworking people of our country, the ones who make this nation run, who make this nation work. And after just 1 year, we have achieved more than anyone could have imagined. Starting on day one, I took immediate action to stop the invasion of our southern border. For the past 7 months, 0 illegal aliens have been allowed into our country, a feat which everyone said was absolutely impossible. Do you remember when Joe Biden said that he needed Congress to pass legislation to help close the border? He was always blaming Congress and everyone else. As it turned out, we didn't need legislation. We just needed a new president. We inherited the worst border anywhere in the world, and we quickly turned it into the strongest border in the history of our country. In other words, in a few short months, we went from worst to best. We're deporting criminals, restoring safety to our most
I don't know if we're the best yet, but
dangerous cities. Just take a look at Washington, D.C. It's at levels of safety that we've never seen before. And they decimated the bloodthirsty foreign drug cartels. We did.
Yeah, I forgot all about that. He brought the National Guard. Did he bring the National Guard into D.C. and Chicago? Because I remember, I was going to talk about it one day, but I talk about what I'm interested in on this channel, but sometimes I'm flooded with so much, I can only do so much. You get what I'm saying? So the stories I hear about, a lot of times the stories I just don't hear about because so much, you have no idea how much stuff I've sent every day. You know what I mean? So, but I remember seeing people talking about they were thanking Trump and they were so happy that the National Guard was there and now they can walk down the street, go have something to eat, do this and that without being in fear. And I was like, wow, man, like
that all by ourselves with our people, and we're so proud of it because they were poisoning and destroying our population. Drugs brought in by ocean and by sea are now down 94%. We have broken the grip of sinister woke radicals in our schools, and control over those schools is
woke
back
radicals
now in the hands of our great and loving states where education belongs. After rebuilding the United States military in my first term, and with the addition we are adding right now, we have the most powerful military anywhere in the world, and it's not even close.
What's funny is I was just about to say the most powerful but by how much? And he just said it's not even close. I hope he's telling the truth because with what I've been saying, man, and see, that was a big thing with me with him talking about, when he was in term, first time he, didn't get us into any new wars. But it feels like we about to get into, some new stuff now,
American strength settled 8 wars in 10 months, destroyed the Iran nuclear threat, and ended the war in Gaza, bringing for the first time in 3,000 years peace to the Middle East, and secured the release of the hostages, both living and dead. Here at home, we're bringing our economy back from the brink of ruin. The last administration and their allies in Congress looted our treasury for trillions of dollars, driving up prices and everything at levels never seen before. I am bringing those high prices down and bringing them down very fast.
Please, let me see that, Oh, man, because, maybe in certain industries and certain sections it is coming down. I think people were talking about gas prices came down and stuff like that. But like I said, it's only so much, but I'm noticing in the things that I'm interested in, things are up,
Let's look at the facts. Under the Biden administration, car prices rose 22% and in many states 30% or more. Gasoline rose 30 to 50%.
You coming with the receipts?
Rose 37%. Airfares rose 31%. Now under our leadership, they're all coming down and coming down fast. Democrat politicians also said the cost of groceries soaring, but we are solving that too. The price of a Thanksgiving turkey was down 33% compared to the Biden last year. The price of eggs is down 82%.
So certain things are still up, but
everything else is falling rapidly.
okay.
And it's not done yet. But boy, are we making
No,
progress.
it's not.
Nobody can believe what's going on. Here are just some of the efforts that we have underway. You will see in your wallets and bank accounts in the new year. After years of record-setting falling incomes, our policies are boosting take-home pay at a historic pace. Under Biden, real wages plummeted by $3,000. Under Trump, the typical factory worker has seen a wage increase of $1,300. For construction workers, it's $1,800. For miners, we're bringing back clean, beautiful coal. It's $3,300. And for the first time in years, wages are rising much faster than inflation.
Clean, beautiful
Remember
coal.
that. The wages, just look at it. Wages are going up much faster than inflation. How big is that? Very importantly, there are more people working today than at any time in American history, and 100% of all jobs created since I took office have been in the private sector.
A lot of people are concerned that AI is going to do away with a lot of jobs. I've heard people talking about no jobs by 2030, and they'll have a livable wage that's paid to everyone. And I'm like, oh boy, I hope that don't happen. Working will be optional. I've heard that's an interesting concept. Let's continue.
Think of that. 100% of all jobs have been in the private sector rather than government, which is the only way to make a country powerful and great. This historic trend will continue. Already, I've secured a record-breaking $18 trillion of investment into the United States, which means jobs, wage increases, growth, factory openings, and far greater national security. Much of this success has been accomplished by tariffs. My favorite word, tariffs, which for many decades have been used successfully by other countries against us, but not anymore. Companies know that if they build in America, there are no tariffs. And that's why they're coming home to the USA in record numbers. They're building factories and plants at levels we haven't seen. AI, automobiles, we're doing what nobody thought was even possible.
The more I'm looking at stuff, man, people really hate AI, man. They fear it. They're very afraid of it taking their jobs. They're very afraid of it taking their jobs. They're very standoffish about you using it to create movies, to create art, to create promotions, commercials. I don't know how well this whole AI thing is going to go over. I'm serious. In these next 2 to 3, I don't know if they can get people to accept it. You know, there are certain new things, relatively, new things being pushed in the forefront. And it just makes me think of something like crypto, and something related to it being the NFTs. Now, crypto seems to have caught on, but not full scale yet. But people hate it in NFTs. And they seem to have fallen to the wayside. AI kind of reminds me of that. I think people like AI more than they liked NFTs, but I still don't think that they, you know what I'm saying? I'm wary about where it's going to go in the future,
Not even remotely possible. There has never, frankly, been anything like it. 1 year ago, our country was dead. We were absolutely dead. Our country was ready to fail, totally failed. Now, we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. And that's said by every single leader that I've spoken to over the last 5 months. Next year, you will also see the results of the largest tax cuts in American history that were really accomplished through our great big, beautiful bill, perhaps the most sweeping legislation ever passed in Congress. We wrapped 12 different bills up into one beautiful bill. That includes no tax on tips, no tax on overtime, and no tax on Social Security for our great seniors. Under these cuts,
none of that involves me. I wish it did, though. I used to wait tables. That was nice. You know, never pulled overtime much, just because the industries that I was in. I did factory work before I waited tables, and I made more waiting tables than I did doing factory work. And sometimes we pull overtime, and but yeah.
many families will be saving between $11,000 and $20,000 a year. And next spring is projected to be the largest tax refund season of all time. Because of tariffs, along with the just passed One Big Beautiful Bill, tonight I am also proud to announce that more than 1,450,000, think of this, 1,450,000 military service members will receive a special, we call Warrior Dividend before Christmas, a Warrior Dividend in honor of our nation's founding in 1776. We are sending every soldier $1,776. Think of that. And the checks are already on the way.
The Warrior Dividend.
We made a lot more money than anybody thought because of tariffs, and the bill helped us along. Nobody deserves it more than our military, and I say congratulations to everybody. And by the way, we now have record enlistment in our military, and last year we had among the worst recruitment numbers in our military's history. What a difference a year makes. In addition, I'm doing what no politician of either party has ever done, standing up to the special interests to dramatically reduce the price of prescription drugs. I negotiated directly with the drug companies
That don't help
of
me
foreign
neither.
nations, which were taking advantage of our country for many decades to slash prices on drugs and pharmaceuticals by as much as 400, 500, and even 600%. In other words, your drug costs will be plummeting downward, and I used the threat of tariffs to get foreign countries who would never have done it to pay the cost of this giant dollar reduction.
I want them to, I remember when they first started making us pay for our health care like that, we didn't have to. And you would just get a small fine at the end of the year, and that would be it. But now it's like you got to pay for this garbage every month, and I don't use it at all. You know what I'm saying? And I don't want to have to pay for it if I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I hate that. I hate that. I mean, but now what they do is they like the fine is much bigger, so it's cheaper to get the insurance. That's how they make you get it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
They stopped ripping us off, and it began as of 4 days ago. There has never been anything like this in the history of our country. Drugs have only gone up, but now they'll be going down by numbers never conceived possible. It's called Most Favored Nation, and no president has ever had the courage or ability to get this done until now. The first of these unprecedented price reductions will be available starting in January through a new website, TrumpRx.gov. And these big price cuts will greatly reduce the cost of health care. I'm also taking on the gigantic health insurance companies that have gotten rich on billions.
Yeah, that thing too, like with the like, I hope they do something with insurance, period. You know, I always thought to myself, if I go a year with nothing happening, shouldn't I get the money back? I've heard comedians make jokes about that. It's like you just pay and pay and pay forever. You know what I'm saying? I can't stand it. Car insurance and anything. They need a new plan for that.
Of dollars of money that should go directly to the people.
Damn
the
right.
money should go to the people.
Damn
That's
right.
you. So they can buy their own health insurance, which will give far better benefits at much lower cost. It will be far.
Give us a choice of whether we even want it or not, and we're not penalized if we don't want it.
Better health insurance. The current Unaffordable Care Act was created to make insurance companies rich. It was bad health care at much too high a cost. And you see that now in the steep increase in premiums being demanded by the Democrats, and they are demanding those increases, and it's their fault. It is not the Republicans' fault. It's the Democrats' fault. It's the Unaffordable Care Act, and everybody knew it. Again, I want the money to go directly to the people so you can buy your own health care. You'll get much better health care at a much lower price. The only losers will be insurance companies that have gotten rich in the Democrat Party, which is totally controlled by those same insurance companies.
Okay, well, I hope put it in the side because I'm picking the cheapest, most, you know what I mean, that I can find.
They will not be happy, but that's okay with me because you, the people, are finally going to be getting great health care at a lower cost. Another major focus is the cost of energy. For years, the radical left Democrats exploited the green energy scam as an excuse to funnel many billions of dollars into their own massive slush funds as their energy restrictions drastically drove up prices, and they drove them up at record levels. Electricity costs surged 30 to 100% under Biden, and the typical family lost $5,000 to $10,000 in higher energy costs. Think of that, $5,000 to $10,000 you lost. On day one, I declared a national energy emergency. Gasoline is now under $2.50 a gallon in much of the country. In some states, it, by the way, just hit $1.99 a gallon. And within the next 12 months, we will have opened 1,600 new electrical generating plants, a record, and it's a record that won't be beaten by practically, I would say, by anybody. Or certainly not very soon. Prices on electricity and everything else will fall dramatically.
Okay.
The Democrat inflation disaster. Again, the worst of the history.
I like when I hear stuff like that. I'm like, okay, so you're working on it. This is what we've implemented. This is what's going to happen. And I know, his haters and naysayers and, people that even have, legit stats. Like, well, this is what's going on and this is probably what, like, I got that. I'm cool. I like hearing stuff like that, but let's see if it happens, okay? Because my pocket felt better when he was in charge before, but now it don't feel better. And I know he said there would be a correction period with tariffs and him handling things. I'm getting antsy. I'm just waiting for me to feel it. You know what I'm saying?
Of our country also robbed millions of Americans of home ownership and indeed the American dream. The yearly cost of a typical new mortgage increased by $15,000 under Democrat rule. In 11 months, we've already gotten that annual cost down by $3,000, and it's coming down a lot lower. Wait till you see. The numbers are going to be shocking, and I'll soon announce our next chairman of the Federal Reserve, someone who believes in lower interest rates by a lot, and mortgage payments will be coming down even further. Early the new year, and you will see this, in the new year, I will announce some of the most aggressive housing reform plans in American history. A major factor in driving up housing costs was the colossal border invasion. We have never been invaded. This is the worst thing that, frankly, in my opinion, the worst thing that the Biden administration did to our country is the invasion at the border. The last administration and their allies in Congress brought in millions and millions of migrants and gave them taxpayer-funded housing while your rent and housing costs skyrocketed. Over 60% of growth in the rental market came from foreign migrants. At the same time, illegal aliens stole American jobs and flooded emergency rooms, getting free health care and education paid for by you, the American taxpayer. They also increased the cost of law enforcement by numbers so high that they are not even to be mentioned. For the first time in 50 years, we are now seeing reverse migration as migrants go back home, leaving more housing and more jobs for Americans. In the year before my election, all net creation of jobs was going to foreign migrants. Since I took office, 100% of all net job creation has gone to American-born citizens. 100%. In the end, government either serves the productive, patriotic, hardworking American citizen, or it serves those who break the laws, cheat the system, and seek power and profit at the expense of our nation. Look at Minnesota, where Somalians have taken over the economics of the state and have stolen billions and billions of dollars from Minnesota and indeed from the United States of America. And we're going to put an end to it. For so long as before my election, the vast majority of good and decent Americans were forced to watch as corrupt politicians plundered the halls of power, exploited our taxpayers, and pillaged every system that makes civilized society function. But not anymore, and you see that every day, not anymore. We're putting America first, and we are making America great again. Very simple. We are making America great again. Tonight, after 11 months, our border is secure. Inflation is stopped. Wages are up. Prices are down. Our nation is strong. America is respected. And our country is back, stronger than ever before. We're poised for an economic boom, the likes of which the world has never seen.
I'm going to hold you to that, sir. I'm going to hold you to that. Let's see.
Soon we will host the World Cup and the Olympics, both of which I got. But most importantly, we will celebrate the 250th anniversary of the Declaration of Independence. There could be no more fitting tribute to this epic milestone than to complete the comeback of America that began just 1 year ago. When the world looks at us next year, let them see a nation that is loyal to its citizens, faithful to its workers, confident to its identity, certain to its destiny, and the envy of the entire globe. We are respected again like we have never been respected before. To each and every one of you, have a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. God bless you all.
Hey, Sean Hannity here. Hey.
All right, sir. All right. Well, post your comments down below. Let me know what you think about the whole address. And, yeah. Has your pocket felt anything good? Has your pocket felt anything bad? Let me know. And I will see y'all in the next video.